So in this video, I'm going to show you how to apply the PBR texturing method. So we're going to go all through the first step until the fifth one when you're putting back inside Maya again. Now, the first step in the implementation of this PBR workflow is that you need to prepare the mesh. But if you look at this scene, right, this scene is pretty simple. So it's just one object. Okay, but I do rename the object properly. So in this case, this is my low poly version of the shadable. So I put a suffix as _low. Okay, so if I open up my high-res version, which I already prepared for you. Okay, so this is the same exact shadable, but it just has more subdivision. Okay, so let's wait a bit. Okay, so as you can see, like this is the high-res version of the shadable, and I put a suffix of _high to represent that it's the high-res version of the shadable. Now, in the folder itself, I already export the OBJ for the low and the high version. So you can also do manually. So if you want, you can select this, then file, export, and then you can use either OBJ or FBX. Okay, but in this case, I already export the object. Okay, now, so the first step is done, which is preparing the mesh and export it. So we're gonna move on to Substance, which is the baking process. So I have my Substance open, and I'm gonna open the file new, and I'm gonna open the low res version of that object. Okay, and do be mindful that you need to select the PBR metallic roughness. So after it's being set as a template, then we need to select the object. Okay, so it says here like mesh not selected, so we're gonna select that object. Okay, and I'm going to my shadable, right, which is the low version of that object. Okay, and I'm going to press OK. Now, do be mindful that this method is work with the very simple object in the scene. Only work for one object in the scene. Okay, but however, you can apply this to more complex object. Okay, now we gonna move on to the baking process. So the baking process can be found right here. Okay, so you can click this button, okay, and this window will pop. Okay, so basically we'll ask you like what is the output resolution when you want to export your texture. So right now it's set to 1000 by 1000. You can change this however. So if you want to do some testing, I suggest you do or choose the lower resolution. Okay, or just make sure everything's okay. Okay, and the next one is Substance asking you like where is the high-res version of that object. So you can click this button and it will load the high-res version for you, okay, which is this file. Okay, so you open it. Okay, so moving on from that, right, so I want to change this parameters from match to by mesh name. So meaning is that it will compare this object name or mesh name between that file. Okay, so I also have the same name in my low res version. So Substance will compare and it will match and it will bake the texture accordingly. Okay, so make sure this is set to mesh name. Okay, and anti-alias is just for blurring purposes. So if you want to have some bit of blur in your texture map, right, you can change this to a different setting. Okay, but in this case, we're just going to choose none. Now, this suffix, right, it refer to this naming convention. So in this case, right, this naming convention kind of match with the one that you have here. So we can ignore that one. Okay. So, but if you have something different, for example, if you have like HR here for high res, right, you might need to change that to HR to indicate that HR means the high res version. Okay, so Substance do understand that naming convention, but in this case, we're just going to leave it as it is. Okay, so remember to make sure these naming convention are the same. Now, this object is pretty simple, so we don't need to care about the ID and a thickness map. So we're just going to bake it. Let's see. Okay, now I usually look at my log file just to check everything is okay. So if you have some red writing, it indicating that you have some error happening during the baking process. So you might need to check what's wrong with the with the, with the error. Okay, now how do we tell that the baking process is being successful? So once you finish with the baking process, all the map, like the normal map, the workspace normal, will all get loaded here. Okay, as previously there is nothing here. So if you successfully bake, you're gonna have some picture here, some texture there. Okay, now we do know that everything's okay, but the texture is rather low res, so I might need to repeat the process. But this time I'm going to up the resolution. Okay, which is 2048. Then we're gonna repeat everything the same. Yeah, and just bake it. Okay. Now,